So first of all, we see there's another American mate for you in the national team. Maybe you could tell something about Ellie, when she plays, where she plays, how she feels in the Latvian team.
Yeah, so she comes from Michigan, and Michigan State is actually where she plays college soccer, but I like to call it football because that's actually the real name. She's very nice. I think the girls have done a good job of introducing themselves to her, and she plays in the defensive line. I think her specialty is center back. So, and I'm really glad she's here, but I'm already feel like I have family on the team. So, but it is very nice to have another American also here. So.
Did you heard about her previously, or it was surprising?
I've heard them ask me about it and ask me oh, do you know anybody? And then before the camp, about 2 weeks ago, they were like, oh, do you know this girl? Her name's Allie. And I was like, I don't, but I'm excited to to meet her. So, and I've heard that there's also some other players that have kind of similar thing as me with my heritage being in Latvia. So.
Tell about preparation for games against Slovakia, because in Slovenia we saw there's a winter break. Also, how you prepared yourself to these important matches?
I prepared myself mentally and physically. I was preparing because we know this is a very important game for us. It can decide whether we stay in Group C or move up to Group B. So. For myself, I made it very important to recover from the last game and then start a really good regimen of exercise, eating healthy, and just being ready to play against Slovakia, because Slovakia is a very good team. They have some very great players and play in very good leagues in Europe. So we know that they're going to be a difficult opponent, but I think that I think we can compete against them and do our best, and I think that's what matters the most, is just giving our 100% no matter what.
What wasn't enough against Malta? What do you think, why we lost all these matches?
Against Malta, I think Malta has a very good defensive line, and I think we were unable into the attack to create some chances, and the chances that we did have, I thought were good, and I wish that we could have scored them. They're a good opponent. I think that it was unfortunate that we lost to them for our first game at home, because we had some better chances to score, and unfortunately that it's a cruel game, and even though it's close to the goal, it's not a goal. So I think that it would be nice in the future to actually play Malta again, because I believe that we can beat them. So.
How you felt after other game in Malta when they were celebrating? There was a party. How Latvian team felt at this moment?
I think we felt disappointment. We were didn't set out. We set out to try to win our group. But then our second goal was to be the best second place team in all of Group C. And then after we saw some results from the other teams' games, we realized that it went from sadness to excitement, because we realized that we still could qualify for Group B through being the best second place team. So then we were disappointed for a little bit, but then we realized, okay, we still have a chance. So we learn from our mistakes in Malta, and then now we're going to do our best to compete and win against Slovakia. So.
Not so usual to play in winter, especially in Latvia in December and now in February. How do you feel about that?
Growing up, I played a lot in the snow, so it wasn't a huge shock for me, but it was a bit to adjust, because there was so much snow on the ground, so you had to make sure it weren't slipping, and it was really great that we could score 4 goals against Andorra at home on such a cold and slippery field with lots of snow. And yeah, I was a bit surprised that I was hoping that we wouldn't have this game in February and maybe another month, but obviously FIFA has their rules. So, but we can just do what we can control, and can't control the weather, so we just have to deal with that.
So go back to the roots, tell about your origin, how you find Latvian team, how Latvian team found you.
Yeah, so I had finished university in 2020, and I wanted to come to Europe and continue my football career. And I was thinking, like, they were telling me that, oh, if you have some heritage and you can look back into your ancestry and see, you could maybe try to apply for dual citizenship. And I was like, oh my gosh, my grandma, she was a refugee from, she and her family fled after the World War II had finished. They're from Liepājas, and her grandmother was very kind of outspoken and was very much against the coming of the Soviet Union, and so she was kind of put her family in a situation, so she felt like it was best to leave Latvia. So they were refugees in a German camp for 7 years. And then after that, they had 3 options, and they took a ship across the Atlantic Ocean to the United States. And then my grandmother, they lived kind of like a difficult life being immigrants, but they eventually, my grandma found my grandpa, and then they, and then my mom, and then me. So, and my grandma is very proud that her granddaughter is Latvian, and she's been teaching me some Latvian words. I'm not the best at it, but I have some teammates who are helping me. So, but I'm very proud of my grandma, and she's very proud of me, and I'm very happy and blessed to be a part of the national team. And the first time, my first camp was actually in 2021. And it was unfortunately against England. So that game was very difficult, but I was very excited to be a part of the national team. It was kind of, I had watched the World Cup qualifiers in the fall, but I had recently joined a team in Sweden, and I figured that it would be best to try to focus on my club team and then reach out and maybe be like, hey, I have, I'm a dual citizen, I have the passport, can I come try out? And I didn't know that, so I reached out to them about 2 weeks before the national team camp, and they asked me, okay, can you send me your, a picture of your passport? So I did, and then they're like, yes, come to camp. And I thought that meant you had to try out, but then they're like, oh no, you're on the team. So I was like, okay, this is really exciting. And they told me that, we're gonna play against England, so we were preparing. And it was an unfortunate result, but I think because of that, that is when they established the Nations League. So that realizes okay, we should compete against nations of the same FIFA ranking to help improve the competitiveness within UEFA. So that is kind of a little bit about my heritage and how I got started with the national team. So.
But your first time in Latvia was during this camp, national team?
Yes, yes.
And in the childhood, how you feel this connection with grandma, with Latvia? How often she told you about Latvia?
She told me about growing up. She would tell her story and just tell me things about. She had a very difficult childhood, so for her, memories of Latvia were not the best. But then she has really changed, and she's very proud now because she's I'm telling her she never got to come back to Latvia to see where it is today now. It's a very, very different time now. So I get to come back, and I get to just be kind of a redemption story for her, just to say hey grandma, this is Latvia, and I get to I got to actually go visit Liepājas last year, and my parents came as well, and we got to see kind of there's a very old church actually that's still around from when she was baptized there, and we couldn't find where she lived because it's a very long time ago, but I felt this very strong connection in Liepājas. I was like, this is so cool, like that I'm here and my grandma's from here. So it felt very like special to me. So.
If you came back to that match against England, how you felt during the match and probably after the game when you read all these articles or this rumor tweets and other stuff?
Yeah, I tried to stay off social media because I felt like that was something that would not help my confidence and just the team in general. And I felt like it was best to just not listen to the critics, and I kind of stayed away from that. And people did ask me sometimes about it when but I tried to stay positive about it and just be like, this was unfortunate. England is a very good team, but we have to like move on and learn from our mistakes. And now we can just see, where we should strive for, where hopefully one day our national team can be at that level and be able to compete with England one day. Like, I feel like that should be our goal as a national team, to continue to improve women's football within Latvia and helping everyone to just raise the standard, help everyone to we just have the resources and the things to be able to improve and just know that it is possible. Like, it's not impossible. So we could do that one day. So.
After that match, we saw that Latvian team changed and we had better results against Northern Ireland, for example.
Yes.
What changed exactly, maybe in the team itself?
I think it helped a lot. Like, before I came, I knew there was a change in coaching staff and just a little bit of change in like team culture and how we have come together closer as a team, where you start to, like, no matter if you're like a bench player or if you're a substitute and you come on the field, or you're a starter, I feel like we all are starting to like connect better and get along and like really realize it's not about ourselves, but it's more about like the team. And to, as one, like, we have to be united, otherwise we can't be successful. And against Northern Ireland, I think it was unfortunate that we couldn't win that game, because I felt like we were actually the better team, and it was just some unlucky goals that happened late in the game. So we had some really nice, I think, goals by Nastia Rokane, and I'm not sure who else, but I think it was like 1-1 or something. I don't remember the score. Yes. But like that really showed like how much we could actually like. I wish we could play Northern Ireland again, because I think that was actually an option that, but obviously we didn't draw with them. We got Slovakia, but it would have been nice to have a rematch against them. So.
You got a quite interesting club career. You changed many clubs: Austria, Greece, also now Slovenia. How it happens from one club to another for you? It came proposal, or you're not satisfied with the club and came to other? How it happened?
For myself, like, I really, like, my goal for myself is I want to try to reach the highest level possible. I want to be able to play in the best, like, I would love to play in the best league, like play in one of the best leagues, like in Spain or England or Italy, play in one of those, like in Germany, in the Bundesliga, and actually get to play and compete. And I feel like every step that I've taken at different clubs has helped me get better as a player and improve my profile. And also, it's very exciting because I get to experience a new country, like a new culture, meet new people. So it is hard at times to adjust to the language, because I do switch quite often. I did stay the longest in Greece for 1 season, and I did learn some Greek, but the alphabet is quite difficult. So, but I think like has made me a better player, and I will try my best in every team to improve my own self. And I think eventually I will try to stay at a team for more than like 1 season. I don't like to stay half seasons, but like that's sometimes how it works out. And it's difficult to be an international player, like playing in a different, country. You have to compete, and it's good, and sometimes the situation is hard as it takes your toll. Like, it's not your home, and you have to, sometimes it's, for myself, I felt like I had, in Greece, I had a great time with PAOK. I really enjoyed playing Champions League with them and winning the Greek championship again with them for the 18th time. And then I was like, thank you so much for my time. Here. I would like to just like move on and see what else is out there. And then I joined Mura and Slovenia, and I played Champions League with them again. And that was another great experience. And so I'm very grateful that I can be able to play for quality teams and get to be a part of that process in the club. So it is quite a lot of different teams, and but I'm very happy and grateful for each time that I spent in those clubs. So they've all helped me with my career. So I'm grateful for them, even if it was a short time. So.
Was there any kind of atmosphere in Greece on women's football? Because we know how it's men's football, basketball in Greece. Was there any fans, ultras?
Oh yeah, PAOK has amazing fans. Like it's just crazy. Like they followed us from like our away, even for away games. They followed us. They bring the drums, and they bring they do the chants, and they bring the signs and everything. And even for women's football, they're very supportive. And like for the men, you should even go see their game. They have their stadium is always packed, and it's crazy. But they really love PAOK, and all of Thessaloniki is just like PAOK, PAOK, PAOK. And you wear your PAOK gear, or your shirt or something. They're like PAOK Kara, like. It means we love PAOK or something like that. So it was really cool to be a part of that culture that really values, no matter that you're, a woman footballer, you're PAOK. So they care about you, and that they want you to be successful. So, and I think that club does a great job for women in that in the Greek league, and after I have left, they've actually the league has, I think, become even more competitive, with the men's team in Athens creating a women's side. Like they have Panathinaikos, so they have a women's team now. So I think it's becoming more competitive, and I think the men's clubs are starting to be more supportive and helping kind of start the new women's side and with some funding and some just resources and things. And I'm really happy to see that that's improved in Greece, and I had a great time there. So.
And now in Slovenia, you feel that is a higher level than in Greece, playing in Mura?
Playing in Mura, I think the Slovenian league is about the same with the Greek league. There's about 4 teams that are top and that are good, and then the rest are a little bit they need some improvement. So, but with Mura, I liked the style of play better than with PAOK. PAOK played a bit of different, more direct passes. And as a midfielder, I like to play more, if we can, be more tiki-taka, in Spain, with the short, quick passes, really being creative with the ball. And of course, direct passes are not a bad thing, but for me, I feel like I improved as a player in Mura more, because that style suits me better. And it's not it would be cool to play PAOK again and see who would win, because both are the best in their league. So, and maybe there'll be a draw for if both win the leagues again. Would see if they could play each other and stuff. So, but I definitely I couldn't say who's better, but for me personally, Mura is a better option for me with how they play. So.
you have contract with Mura till the end of this season, or how's your situation?
I ended up deciding to finish halfway through the season. So, and now I'm looking for my next opportunity. So, I've been thinking about several different places, but right now I'm mostly focused on this. I'm 100% focused on these games with the national team, and then I can worry about that later because right now I'm here for camp for Latvia to play against Slovakia. So.
But as I understand, you have an agent who works.
Yeah, yeah. I have an agent, and he helps me and everything. So he's working while I'm working for Latvia. So that's kind of, and I have to, it's like a trust relationship with, you're like, okay, hopefully my agent's coming up with something good. So, and then you just work on yourself and being prepared and ready for whatever's next. So.
Do you imagine yourself playing in Latvia or living in Latvia?
I have been actually staying in Latvia for a week prior to the camp, and I've really enjoyed being kind of a part of the city. I've gone through different parts of Riga, and I've taken the bus. I haven't taken the tram yet. I'm a little afraid, but I know more now about the bus system and a little bit around Riga, and I got to train with Meta and SFK Riga, so it was great to be a part and kind of see how women's football is here in Latvia. So it's always a possibility. I will never say no to that. So, but right now I am focused on the national team. So.
After these 2 years in national team, how many Latvian words do you know? How you are integrated in Latvian culture?
Yeah, so I know like the basic words, and in practice now I've been trying to like not ask for translation, but like I still need it. So I know like la palabi, la crazy. We'd go over with like dinner. I'm like karote, torksha, nazes, glazes, salvetta, and then we just like certain words that I've like memorized, and like these bukums, and I think many camps ago, Nora asked me to say 2 words in a video, and it was like, I'm gonna definitely mispronounce this, but it was like, basically in English it says, "Come to the stadium," and it was like, oh gosh. Yes, something like that. But it was like, I can say stadiona, so like that. So, but I actually really have been trying to find someone who can teach me, because a lot of like the apps don't have Latvian to learn from. It's like the closest thing is like Russian, but I don't want to learn. I want to learn Latvian. So it would be great because I don't do well with just looking at words, because one time I tried that and I came back to camp and they're like, guys, like the words that I learned, and then I tried to say them and they're like, huh, what? Like, and then I show them and they're like, oh, Anna, you mispronounced these words so wrong. So I was like, okay, so maybe I do like an online teacher, and I learn and stuff, and Enya has been helping me with the alphabet and learning how to pronounce the words better. So that's good, and I'm excited. Each camp I start learning more words, and hopefully I will get learn the grammar and the other important things, so I can actually understand and say a sentence, and then people will understand me. So.
How you felt at the beginning of the Latvian national team, because it's very rare that American games, the Latvian team in women's football or men's football and other sports, how you felt as a person from other world?
It was difficult at first, because I felt a little I'm oh, do I belong here? Will they be okay? I didn't grow up in Latvia. Will people be upset? This is very new, for myself and for them, like you said, this hasn't I think it hasn't happened before. So
That
I
was
was.
Gregoria from the Swiss Gold.
Oh yes, yes, yeah. So it was nice to know that I wasn't just like me that was coming not from Latvia, but now I feel much more like a part of the team. And now that I've been in like Europe for about like 2.5 years, it's weird. I have like culture shock when I go back sometimes to visit my family in the United States, and then I come back and I'm like, it feels like. You know, home is not really home anymore, and then here is a little bit home, but like it's still not the same. So it's kind of a weird space I'm in now, because I'm like, I very much prefer now to like, when I'm in Europe, to be here longer. So I really do enjoy life in each country that I've been in, and I don't know where I'll end up in 5 years. But like I just take each year at a time where I'm at and everything. So yeah.
I see you're enjoying playing football in Europe. When you started dreaming about Europe, when you started living in the USA, watching European football and learning about it.
Yeah, so growing up, I played for, we called the club Arsenal, and the owner of the club is actually from England, and so he got my whole family into watching the Premier League and watching, so like, I think I was like 8 or 9, and I became like an Arsenal fan, and I still am to this day. So that's how I think I got introduced to European football and everything. So, and then I'm really grateful for all the coaches. I had many coaches who actually were British, and they taught us kind of a different style, you know, less like, you know, American football is a bit, or I'll just switch to American soccer is a bit more like physical, not as skills and technique is not as important. Growing up, that's kind of what it was. It was more about like who can be the fastest, who can be the strongest and the most athletic. But for me, like I'm really happy with the coaches that I had, that they were like, no, like that's great to have, but it's very important to work on our technical abilities, our first touch, our skills. So like I think that prepared me to be able to come to Europe and play a little bit more European style football. And there's like, I think the American soccer has changed. I think we've seen in this past World Cup that the American style of play is kind of outdated now, and that a lot of European countries and other countries throughout the world have improved and actually I think have gotten above, you know, the United States. And I've seen, however, in this past transfer window, a lot of really big moves to the American League and the NWSL. So I see there's some improvements being made. I think they saw like, oh, okay, we're not the best in the world anymore, and we need to fix that. So I think, but I still always believe that European football is just, it's a more beautiful game. I think the creativity, the chances, just in general, I like the style better here. So I hope that wasn't too much.
Yeah, talking about origins, so we can say your dream is to play for Arsenal women's team.
Oh yeah, that would be really awesome. But that's a very difficult thing to accomplish. But maybe one day that would be awesome to even be able to play in England in general. So to play in maybe the Super League or the underneath the Super League, because I feel like the support is very good in England for women's football right now. So like I think they had like 60,000 fans for the last Arsenal game against, I think, Manchester United, and it was crazy to me, like, to think that's possible, you know.